We're gonna go live. I didn't mean to do that. I had the
Oh,
button over the live, the second live in StreamYard, and then I just hit. We'll just go live
okay.
because we're cool like that. Um, no, I'm really. But Ray, I know we were just talking off air before I accidentally went live. That's a pretty big mistake. But um, talking about last night, we're up late. It was funny thinking about last night how we were watching Charlie Kirk and Jack Posovic. We saw
Mm.
them getting tired. Like you could
Oh
tell
yeah.
they were sleepy. Then we were getting sleepy watching them.
I
But
I there were literally times last night where I was like, I literally almost fell asleep in the middle of the stream last night.
yeah, and
So
you know what though, Ray? I'm proud of we're just two random dudes. I'm
yeah.
really proud of the way that we covered it. I mean, obviously we're basing it off of other people and filling the air like that, but we were on air for 5-6 hours or something like that for the whole
Yeah.
day.
Actually, over 6 hours. So
Over six
yeah.
hours. I'm proud. I'm proud of the
Yeah.
way that we covered it. The only reason I wanted to do this live was number one, I
Mm.
really should be doing an upload every day at 9, and I'm doing work on trying to get one. I couldn't get it done, so I'm like, let me just go live. And two, I want to eat crow. I want to, but I know you
Mm.
reached out to me too, so I
Mm.
wanted to get your words on here. I appreciate your work and coming on with me.
Yeah.
What did you have on your thoughts that you really wanted to get out there?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about was that I looked at the race between Kerry and Hobbs. The gap is closed a whole lot. If you saw that, like a
Yep.
whole lot, literally within 1% already. So there's
Yep.
there's a chance. There's a chance.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's a chance. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens there. I still think Carrie Lake's going to win. Last I saw, there's 800,000 ballots out there. I think she's going to win, but I don't know. What do you know? What's up with Blake Masters though?
Like Masters. I think I don't. It hasn't been called yet, but I think it's pretty obvious Blake's not going to win. Um, Kelly has 51% and Masters has 46% right now. So
Okay, it's hard to tell there, but yeah. So did you want to bring the message of like Carrie Lake's still alive and it's not over type thing, or?
last another thing, Nevada, it swing Republican, that surprised me a whole lot. Yeah, I
Yeah, it
got it
wasn't
right.
very. Yeah, it did. You got it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bring
let's
it
bring it
right.
up. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for joining. For me, just wanted to do this live to eat crow. That it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say doom or gloom, but I was, I have to eat crow on. There was no big red. There was no solid rebuke across the country. So let's bring this up, Ray.
Well, no, Matt. One second. I think I have that opinion. I you'll never convince me something else going on like than what we're speculating right now. You'll never convince me.
Yeah. So, but here's my take on that before you go to yours, Ray. Thanks for bringing that up. Right now, I'm not even going down that route. I don't see any evidence about any shenanigans. Here's the route that I'm going down. Well, let me let you go, then I'll tell you the route that I'm looking into.
Well, I'll get it. I'll tell you right after we do the stream because I've seen some stuff that has been going on. So yeah, but yeah. Look here in Nevada, which this is shocking to me right here. Like literally every county except where Las Vegas is has gone red, including
Wow.
Reno, which that surprised me a whole lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
So Lexal did win. I didn't think he was going to. So is it called?
not called. It's I believe 84% in yet right now.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
Good.
80% in. Yeah.
Good news. Good news there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's official that the Walker and Warnock race is going to go to a runoff. So yeah, that's official.
Yep.
Yeah, but
So let me tell you my theory on the big picture. Some people are saying abortion. I'm not buying it at all. I don't know where that's coming from. Let me give you the opinions off of Twitter. And I always go to Twitter, but man, that's where like we got a lot of bright minds on Twitter. I mean, this is a very powerful platform. And so Dr. Carlin Borisenko, who is biased, she's a libertarian, but we all have our biases. She said that she thought it was abortion. And let me just do the quick tweet and how we kind of went back and forth here just a little bit.
Another theory could it have been like the student loan forgiveness thing? Could that have helped?
No, I'm not buying it. Maybe I don't have the evidence, but I don't see that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not starting there. It's like I like to start with the biggest picture. So here's Dr. Carla, who I highly respect. This is not any diss to her. She said, who was a libertarian, she was a libertarian candidate for governor for New Hampshire. She says, there is no evidence of election issues. If you blame that when it was because you messed with abortion, you will keep losing. So she's saying the real issue was abortion. If you want to be a loser, keep crying on about that. And I said, the Republican take on abortion, in my opinion, is terrible, but that's not what happened here. I don't see any evidence of that. Where's the evidence of it? There's no evidence in the exit polling that there was a top issue for people who came out. It wasn't even I saw one exit poll, I think it was CNN. It wasn't even in the top 5. Dems
I don't trust polling. I don't trust them at all.
It's true. It could, but really, do you think really people are going to the polls on abortion? Like, are you seeing that? I don't see that.
I think it has happened. I think that may have been. I think that probably did happen and has been happening in Arizona and Pennsylvania particularly.
So I want to see some, and maybe it could be. I want to see some data on that or something. I need to see something to back that up because I don't believe it. But so my thought was, here's what happened. Remember, we talked about before the election in the primaries that the Democrats were actually funding America First candidates in the primaries, trying to prop them up to win. I'll look up an article to just go back to that real quick. Dems propped up these populist candidates in the primary to win over like your pretty much your typical corporate types in not most, but in a lot of these races. What they did was they knew the GOP and then the GOP funders, all those people would not back them in the midterms. So Dems crushed them with spending. It's not that complicated. I mean, people are digging too much into it and trying to do. They outspent them in most of these races a crazy amount. And I'm not just talking about the money the candidates raised. These outside groups outspent attacking the populist message. So they couldn't. The message, it wasn't the problem. Is like if you're outspent, and I'll pull up some examples here to show you what I'm talking about. If you're outspent like crazy, it's hard to overcome this politics. So it was about the money. They propped up people they knew Mitch McConnell and the GOP wouldn't back. They crazily outspent them, and then now they can say, "Look, the populist message was trash. Come back to the establishment," when it was really about money. That's what I'm looking at.
I was reading reports like when Trump was pissed off when he woke up this morning. He was pissed.
I heard that too. And
yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
Just Trump doesn't have the strategic. He's failing strategically, man. And it's like he's got to know this stuff, and his people's got to know this stuff.
Do you think the Republicans should move on from him?
I've been said that, but here's the thing: this is a political battle. You've got to put the political pressure on Trump to make a deal with him. If say, for example, you're DeSantis, Ray.
Yeah.
Pretend you're Ron.
We're still
Ron
tired
DeSantis.
from last night. So
I know.
Yeah.
Pretend that you're Ron DeSantis for a second, and you want to run. Do you want to go up against Trump?
No.
No. So if you really want to run, then you've got to figure out a way to make a deal with Trump for him not to run. That's politics. So I don't know what that deal looks like. I don't know if it's even possible. So I don't want Trump to run, but I can't stop him from running. And here's the thing about Trump. He only had one term.
Yeah.
So that's when you look back in history, that is an embarrassment for a president to only have one term. And you know presidents even better than me, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
Am I accurate there in saying one-term presidents are pretty much looked at back in history as embarrassments?
George H.W. Bush certainly is. So,
yeah, one term.
Jimmy Carter. Who else?
Other one-termers.
Gerald Ford.
Yeah, all embarrassments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single president that had one term is looked at as an embarrassment, right?
Well, except Calvin Coolidge, though. Except him, though.
Well, that was unique, though.
Yeah, because he decided not to run for a second
Yeah,
term. He only
yeah. That,
wanted to run for one.
so let me clarify that for people who tried to get 2 terms, because he didn't even run for a second term, right?
No, he left office after one term.
Yeah. So if for the presidents who wanted to get 2 terms, it is considered an embarrassment in history if you only got 1 term.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be pretty much. So Trump doesn't want that stain. And whether it was legit or not, he got impeached twice, the J6, the Mar-a-Lago. So I don't want him to run, but the facts are he's going to run. I mean, you can't stop it. There's no, what deal could you make him to stop from running? None.
I don't see any.
So and let's look at it. So now they're trying to look at it and say Trump's the problem. I do see problems with Trump. Nobody's perfect, but what happened here in the midterms to me is not an indictment on Trump. It's not a Trump problem. Oz is. I think Oz specifically, but overall, it's not an indictment on Trump. I
Yeah.
think it's more an indictment of the money and how the Democrats, I can't say that they worked directly with the GOP, but any candidate who talked about what would get us banned from YouTube, a strike from YouTube, what happened last time, any candidate that was talking about that, none of them got funded. None of them got seriously funded by any of the GOP establishment. So
So
when you see Kevin McCarthy do the speech, Kevin McCarthy doesn't want the GOP. He didn't want those people to win. You know, we watched Kevin McCarthy's speech. It was a dry speech. It was a terrible speech. We saw Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was almost like smug, and the arrogance was just dripping off of him. It was just disgusting. He didn't want the populist candidates to win.
yeah, you have a bot in the chat.
Oh, thanks.
Girls 18 online. So
Thanks. Yeah, I
yeah,
got it. I think I got it.
yeah, that's a bot right there.
Yeah. What's your
Um,
thought, Ray?
um,
Morning, GB.
Magical. Ronald Reagan did not lose after his first term. He had 2 back-to-back terms, which is one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest presidents of all
Oh,
time.
yeah. No.
So yeah,
Now his
Person-
second term, he had cognitive issues in his second term, but he won 2 terms.
he to me he's the 5th best president of all time. So
Yeah, Ronald Reagan's legacy is whether it's not even about whether you like him or not. It's about what he accomplished, like in his political career, and he was one of the best orators of all time as well. Great debate moments. I don't want to get sidetracked, but what's your thought, Ray, on the whole blaming Trump and MAGA type thing that's going on?
like I think there's a lot of blame that could go around. A lot of it, in my opinion. Like was it the message? What was it? Us people who didn't even get out there and vote? Because like there's record turnouts, but is it possible that all these record turnouts are just from liberals and not conservatives? Is that possible?
I don't know. I do have to look at that. Was it record turnouts? But when we looked at Arizona, it looked about the same as 2018.
Well, a bunch more ballots dropped in when we were sleeping. So
okay,
yeah. Right now, it's about. Let me check this again. I'll go to Kerry Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right now, Katie Hobbs has 9,200. Well, 900 to 900, just a little over 900,000 votes, and Kerry Lake just has 890 votes, 8,000. So it's getting closer. So let me see him. So I'm gonna do my calculator right here. How many votes is that? Okay, 902, 521 plus 890, 795. That is one just a little under 1.8 million votes. Just under
1.8.
So yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit more because I think there's about 800,000 outstanding. So it's going to be a little bit more than 2018 turnout.
Yeah. So was this an embarrassment tonight, or were our expectations just a little too high?
No, I wouldn't call it an embarrassment. Well, Fetterman is an embarrassment to our whole country. That's something that's a whole separate issue. But no, I wouldn't call what happened in the midterms an embarrassment. But when you look back at typically with midterms, we would have expected a stronger rebuke of what happened. I mean, when you look back at Obama's midterm, Clinton, they lost a ton of seats. Now, the difference is there weren't any true populists back then. Was the Tea Party active back then? I think it was just popping off.
I don't recall.
Yeah, Jen Psaki tweeted about this and summed it up actually really well. Obviously, she has it in her slant, but let me look up and see if I could show you. So it's not an embarrassment, but it's a disappointment for sure. Here's where because Tim Pool said that no, look, it's GOP did well, but here's my thing. Billy G. Think about it from the standpoint of Billy G. Ray. If
Hmm.
you're Billy G, are you happy with the midterms or are you disappointed with the midterms?
Oh, he is. He and Klaus Schwab are happy right now.
So then,
Happy as they could be.
so then it's a disappointment. So Tim's wrong. I mean, that's the question that you just asked. I agree with you 100%. So I'm not mad. It's not an embarrassment, but it is a disappointment. If Billy G, we know for sure. We're not even hesitating. We know Billy G and those up there. That we know they're happy with these midterms. That means it was definitely not a success.
Yeah. So, like I text you that video Tim did this morning. Did you watch the entire thing?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was disappointed with what Tim said because he got it completely wrong. Like it's almost like for some reason, it's almost like he intentionally got it wrong from what I saw. That's
No,
what it seemed like.
no, I don't think it's intentional. Tim's great. Again, I don't want because a lot of times when somebody else's name comes out people's mouths, you think you're trying to just attack them. We both you like Tim, right?
I'm a huge Tim fan.
Yeah,
Huge
yeah.
Tim.
I'm a huge Tim Pool fan, so it's not about any type of dissing. But he is one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever seen on a wide array of topics. But
Hmm.
when you dig into the topic, then he needs experts because you only have so much time. And when
Yeah.
that's why I was like, I'm not following Tim for election stuff. He's great, but to be more like reacting to somebody reacting. He's doing the same type of stuff as that we do, and he doesn't even follow it as in depth as we do, and we only have a surface level following of it. So Tim is coming from a standpoint of, I think he is a contrarian, so
Hmm.
when he sees everybody saying like kind of being down, he wants to be upbeat. If he sees everybody upbeat, he wants to be down. He's providing balance.
Yeah.
So I think his perspective is to provide balance. There are some victories here. And I agree with that. But overall, the question that Tim has to answer is Billy G happy or not? And he didn't answer that question for me.
Yeah. I was good. I haven't had a chance to watch Jen and Peter's show. They were talking last night about Florida turning red. I haven't turned. I'm gonna watch that later tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I want to. And here's the thing: if you are out there, before I go to this Jen Psaki tweet,
Hmm.
if you are out there and you don't like MAGA, this is not something to celebrate. When you look at what happened here, it's a story of money. The populist candidates got set up to fail, to be outspent, and I'm going to show some examples if we have time here. I want to do a full video breaking that down.
Hmm.
So the same thing happens to populist left. Jen Perlman went up against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and what happened? She got outspent. It's not something to celebrate. That even if you don't agree with the populist right, that
Hmm.
means it's hard for any populist to come up in the system.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather have a populist populist a populist on the left and have some establishment person on the left.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
So I think Lauren Boebert is a populist, and people are celebrating her losing. And I tweeted, if you think Lauren Boebert is more of a threat to our country than Nancy Pelosi, you've got been some serious propaganda going on
Yeah.
in your head. I mean, that's not Lauren Boebert hasn't had a tenth of the power that Nancy Pelosi has had, and the time in power that Nancy Pelosi has had. So even from that standpoint of ideology, forget about that. Nancy Pelosi has so much power and time in D.C. How are you celebrating Lauren Boebert getting potentially? It's not over, but potentially losing. But you support Nancy Pelosi? That is craziness.
Yeah. Like it. Is Pelosi done officially? You think after this? You th-
I think she's done. I mean, why is she doesn't? Why would she want to stick around? I mean, she's not speaker anymore. I mean, she's not going to be speaker. It's not official yet, but it looks like she's not going to be speaker anymore. And she's 80. What is she? 83 or something?
Who knows?
She's
Somewhere in that
yeah. She's
range.
older, and I think she's going to fade away. I think she's done because here's the thing: when's the next time the Dems are going to get the House?
Who
I don't
knows?
think. Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe they could in 2024, but that's why I'm not like it's embarrassing. It would have been embarrassing if the Dems kept the House. That would have been
Yeah.
embarrassing, right? I mean, it kind of came close to that. I don't know what the count is. Nancy's 82, but it's going to be hard for Dems to get the House back.
Yeah.
But let me look at this.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, let me look at this Jen Psaki tweet real quick. Jen Psaki tweeted before the everything went down. No races has been called yet, and they won't be for a while. But just some facts for your back pocket. Bill Clinton lost 54 House seats in '94. Obama lost 63 in 2010, and both went on to win re-election. So that's why I'm saying you look at it. We had the money spent. We had the pandemic handling. We had the school issue. There's a lot of big issue stuff, and we didn't see any type of rebuke like back then. The difference is back then there weren't any populist candidates. The rebuke from Clinton was from the one side of the uniparty to the other side of the uniparty. So the uniparty didn't care.
Yeah.
We were living, and not everybody, but I was ignorant back then. I was like, oh, the Republicans swing. There's no swing. They're in the same group. Same with the Barack Obama midterm. So
Yeah.
they do fight within each other, but at the end of the day, they're the same group. The difference why didn't we see stuff like that when the stakes are higher is because it was a populist. It would have been a populist swing, so the uniparty GOP and Dems were against it happening. So it's not a embarrassment, but it's disappointing. It's going to be a tough battle.
Yeah. I read this morning. I forgot what the article. I'll have to go back and read the article from where it was. But it said it said the Trump era is over and the DeSantis era has begun. That's what it was said.
You see,
that's what that's what it said. I'm not saying that's what I think it is. I'm just saying that's what it said.
And I'm really hesitant on DeSantis. I know I've been going back and forth, but if DeSantis tries to challenge Trump, then to me DeSantis might be a snake. He might be a snake in the grass, because you look at it. Let's put Kari Lake in the position that DeSantis was in. Let's put Marjorie Taylor Greene in the position DeSantis is in. Just swap them out. Say Marjorie Taylor Greene had the success in Florida that DeSantis did. Kari Lake had the success that DeSantis did. Do you think Kari Lake or Marjorie Taylor Greene would go after? And they don't agree with Trump on everything. This is not some cult. They do not agree on Trump on spending and a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Ray, do you think that they would challenge Trump?
No, they wouldn't even consider it.
No, they would support him. Why? It's not even about Trump. It's about where the heart and mind and souls of the people are. The people are still, they have unfinished business, and they wouldn't get in the way of that. So to me, I hate to say it, but if DeSantis tries to make a move on Trump, I'm leaning towards he was a snake, and I fell for it.
Yeah, who knows? But then that still doesn't answer the question though. Why did Florida go have a red wave and all these other places didn't?
Yeah, that's not to say DeSantis isn't great. I mean, DeSantis did a great job in Florida. Please don't get me wrong. But the thing is, DeSantis isn't really MAGA though. Is he a populist? I mean, he did a great job. You think he is?
I consider him populist.
I don't know yet. I don't know if I consider him populist yet. Again, he did a great job, but if he was really a populist, Ray, he wouldn't be considering challenging Trump. I don't know if he is or not, but if he was really a populist, that means you go with the will of the people.
Yeah, I think DeSantis is an unofficial MAGA. That's what I think he is, unofficially MAGA.
I don't consider DeSantis MAGA. Let me hear you in the chat. This is an interesting discussion. We should have it now. Is DeSantis MAGA or not? Let's assume. Let me assume this, Ray. Let's assume DeSantis is going to challenge Trump. Does that change your mind? Do you still think he's a populist?
Yes.
Wow. So why do you say that?
Well, because I think this is because of my definition of MAGA. My definition of MAGA is like empowering people. That's my definition of it, and like giving power back to the people. And that's been happening in Florida. So that's just my definition of what MAGA is. Maybe it's not yours, but that's just mine. Now, it wouldn't be wise for him to challenge Trump. The reason is because I don't think he would win. That's why.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he would get wrecked. The energy is around Trump. If DeSantis could have talked him out of running and say, "Big guy, you will get this. I'll give you this. I'll give you this power. I'll give you this money. Whatever it is, let someone else take the reign." Then I would have been like, I'd be all in on DeSantis. Then if he were able to do that. But now, if he challenges Trump, then to me, he's a populist in a way, I guess, for Florida. But then now, in the bigger picture, how are you going to fracture the whole base when you're still really young enough where you could? Trump's done after this. Win or lose, Trump's done, right?
Yeah.
Like technically, if he ran in 2024 and lost, he could run again, technically. But
Yeah,
that's not. I mean, he'd be too old, right? And he's just done.
no, that wouldn't happen. That he wouldn't run again.
So then, why wouldn't DeSantis just wait 4 years?
Yeah, but then again, like you have to go with like momentum and stuff like that. Like it's the WWE analogy. Like if you get like a superstar that's started getting hot with the crowd, like he's getting a lot of momentum, and then all of a sudden he like loses like some random match that you don't think he should have, then his momentum's cut off and you can't regain it back, no matter what you do. So
Yeah.
I think that could happen with DeSantis.
Yeah, am I articulating myself good enough? Because Magic GoPro, I do agree. DeSantis is the stronger candidate on paper. I would agree. He's kind of the path. He's showing it. He's proving it. I think he's the perfect age to run for president. So I agree with you. But GoPro, do you understand what I'm saying? If Trump gets into the arena, we are going to have a situation that it's a civil war. It's a MAGA civil war. Do you want that?
No one does. But like here's something I'm curious what your opinion on this is. If even if DeSantis does choose to challenge Trump and like no matter who wins, do you think that automatically means that we will lose the presidential election? Here's why: because like if it would start a civil war and like the Democrats could rally behind that, and push it like that.
I would say it would lessen the chances of MAGA winning the general election for sure. Trump would win. I agree. Trump would win. That's just where the energy of the people is. And you're not going to convince people to move on from something that was. I don't think our country will ever move on from it, to be honest with you.
Hey, Philip Gonzalez. The thing is that a lot of other states did that too, and like we saw what happened.
Okay, GB, friend of the show, member of the channel. Thank you, GB says I agree. So thanks for the feedback. Where'd you see that from, Prince? I missed that. Philip Gonzalez.
Yeah,
okay.
Philip Gonzalez.
Philip Gonzalez says Florida went full red because DeSantis cleaned up the process in the state, I think, and closed loopholes. We can definitely learn from DeSantis. I agree completely.
Yeah, but a lot of other states did the same thing, and we saw what happened last night.
Yep. So it's not the only answer, but that was good.
Yeah. McConnell and McCarthy still own it. That's pretty obvious right there.
So Magic GoPro thinks DeSantis could take ownership of the party. He is that much of a boss, but it's going to be awkward because DeSantis would have to work with McCarthy and McConnell. So is he going to work with them and then turn on them, which he could?
Well, Trump did. So,
but Trump endorsed McCarthy, though. Did he really turn on them?
No, he endorsed McConnell in 2020. Remember?
Yeah, and then turned on McConnell. But but he didn't turn on McCarthy though. He recently endorsed McCarthy. Let me show you my theory here. Run this by y'all. This is what I'm working on to look into. Remember these headlines we were talking about? Democrats spend tens of millions amplifying far-right candidates in 9 states. The practice by some campaigns, this is dated back in September, by some campaigns and outside groups this year has divided Democrats, with some in the party complaining that such tactics are risky and could result in the election of candidates who pose serious threats to democracy, is what they said. Yeah. So they're showing that they supported some of these populist candidates. I'm going to look down, see if they have some names. I know Burns is one of them. Yep. So Robert Burns here in New Hampshire, 2nd District, Ann Kuster is seeking re-election. A group called Democrats Serve is directing about $100,000 into TV commercials, accentuating the conservative credentials of Robert Burns. So what's happened here is they're actually the Democrats in the primary were supporting Robert Burns. That's something. I mean, that's weird. We didn't really see that too often, right? I mean, I never really saw anything like that. Let me show you what I looked up here. I looked at Robert Burns here a little bit. I'm going to the locals page now. Is it showing? Okay. So on the locals page, let me bring up the picture. So here's what happened. It looks like Ann won. I don't know if it's called. I think it's called. Ann won 57-43 over Burns. Remember, Democrats helped Burns. And then you look at it. Oh, shoot. Did I not get it? Oh, wow. I thought I put it in there. I went to Open Secrets. I might have to look that up. I went to Open Secrets, and Ann outspent him by a ton.
Yeah.
So do you see what I mean? They set up these candidates. They're like, you can't outspend us. You might have a message that resonates with people more, but if we pump this thing with money, we don't think you're going to be able to beat us.
Yeah. But like I don't think New Hampshire is really that good of an example, because I predicted like they weren't going that no Republicans other than maybe the governorship was going to win in New Hampshire. I don't think that's a good example though.
Yeah, but there's more, so I have to look. So I haven't done the full research, but you're right. That's not the only. I can't use that as the only example. But you see what I'm looking into now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Blake Masters. Let's look at Open Secrets real quick. I'm gonna just do this live. Open Secrets. Let me share my screen. So for Open Secrets, follow the money. Like I want to know, like, what about Blake? Is this the right site? What is it? Is this the web? It looks different. Where's the search? Let me look up Blake Masters Open Secrets.
Okay.
Okay, Arizona race. Now I want to look at the money.
Yeah.
So look at the money.
Okay.
So Mark Kelly raised and spent. So Mark Kelly spent $73 million.
And raised 80 million.
Raised 80 million, spent 73. Blake Masters, which that isn't called yet, right? Blake is still alive.
No. What? But it hasn't been called yet. But okay. I'm pretty sure they're going to call it any time now.
For Mark Kelly?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they're going to any moment.
Look at the spending. So now they're going to look at the message. Blake Masters had this populist message, and he's kind of like a Trumpster and all that kind of stuff. But you look at the money, he got outspent 7 times. 10 million spent, 70 million spent. I don't care what your message is.
Wait.
It's kind of like comparing our YouTube channel to like somebody who has a budget of $1 million. Like you're not going to get the same following, regardless of content.
Hey, can you bring up the amount of money spent between Beto O'Rourke and Greg Abbott?
Yeah, let me look that up.
I'm curious about that one.
And you would have to start with the money. Let me look at
because O'Rourke got blown out.
And then what the thing is, you have to look at outside spending too. So let me double check that. You know, there's all kinds of spending coming from everywhere. So Beto, wait, what is going on here? Why don't I have a good? Let me look up and see. I'm probably struggling because I'm doing this live. Normally, I probably would be fine. Open Secrets spending. Let's see. Why am I getting 20? Sorry, 1 second. Let's look at the spending for. Where do you find? Why am I not? Let me see if I can find it in the same way I found this one.
Yeah, but Wisconsin was officially called for Ron Johnson this morning.
That would have been very disappointing if he didn't win that.
But it was much closer than I thought it was going to be, though. Much closer.
Yep.
He won by just 32,000 votes. So,
wow. And he was running against a terrible candidate too. What was the candidate? I forgot.
Barnes, I believe. But
terrible candidate.
Matthew something Barnes. Was it? What's his first name again? I forgot. What? Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah, but I'm literally just barely beat him. So that's a disappointing race in Wisconsin. So it doesn't matter that we won that. That's incredibly disappointing.
Yep, it represents kind of the way the night went, basically. But we can still get Kerry Lake. What's that?
Magic GoPro. He says Kathy Barnett would have dunked for Fetterman. Yeah, Trump for yay for Trump for back.
Oh wait, did your mic go out? I don't hear anything. Hold on. Oh yeah. I think your mic went out, unless my stuff went out.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, got you.
If it was Kathy Barnett instead of Dr. Oz, would things have been different, do you think?
I don't know. When I'm looking at the spending, I don't know. I think it would. I think it would have been better. Yeah, I really do. The only hesitance I have is like, would they have backed her? I don't think she would have got backing, but I think it would have been better for sure. Yeah. And either way, I would rather lose with somebody that I'd rather go in the foxhole with somebody I want to be in the foxhole with and go out than Dr. Oz. That's for sure.
Yeah, like DeSantis, from what I've heard, he's raised like $200 million or something like that. So,
oh my god, yeah, he raised $200 million,
somewhere in that range.
And so he had the backing of all these establishment people. And when you raise that much money, man, you're not looking at governor. That's some president. You're starting president right there.
Yeah, yeah. So
he probably had more money than Trump.
Well, Trump is actually a billionaire, so he has his own money. So
well, he has his own money, but as far as raised money,
yeah,
he probably had more than Trump.
I'm curious. I'm curious what Jen and Peter said, because I actually have their show pulled up right here. I want to see what the stream was.
I couldn't find the Beto. Sorry. Yeah, pull up Jen. Let's see what they were talking about.
From the left. I want to see what they talked about last night, because we watched Wait, wrong one. My mistake.
Oops, that's right. Jen and they are really good. They're way better with election stuff than I am. They're really good, but they're going to come from the left perspective of it.
Yeah, I'm curious what they talked about. I'm very curious.
So am I. Friend of show, Jen Perlman, Peter Hager.
Tell you, Florida Dems. Y'all let us know when you're tired or you need your soap on the rope, because you guys are not getting it. It's just unbelievable.
No, it's definitely not good, and unfortunately, we're.
As to my little wager with you, see, Peter and I had an over/under. I said that Charlie would lose by more than 10. I actually was calling 12. He thought he would actually lose under 10. So I'm just saying, man, did he and Val concede very quick.
Well, they didn't really have a choice. No. And obviously, things got out of hand really quickly. And of course, once Miami-Dade.
Can you turn it up a little bit, or is it all the way?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can turn it up.
Sorry, just a little bit, yeah.
Rubber meets the road, and now is looking really bad for
Perfect.
Florida's. That apparently Palm Beach County is now leaning red. That's bad.
Well, you guys might want to have some better considerations about who runs your state Democratic Party. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe if you had somebody more competent in charge of your state party that actually inspired people to vote and decided to put up candidates that were more inspired than, let's say, Val and Charlie, maybe you guys would get somewhere. Or maybe
there's no one that could have challenged DeSantis in Florida. There's no one that could have.
Then maybe you would get somewhere. I would like to say something, though, about what I was just watching before I came in here. It was Marco Rubio's speech. I don't know if anybody saw it.
I heard it for like 2 minutes.
Okay. So let me talk about the most ungracious, pompous, obnoxious, fear-mongering winner's speech that one little turd could make. And he is a little turd. But he sat there and was, instead of being remotely gracious and saying, Val ran a good race or, whatever, let's get to work, let's do all this stuff. He stood there and just continued to slam Democrat stuff over and over and over again. Like, talk about not winning gracefully. And I mean, I didn't vote for him because, he's a turd. But there's nothing honorable about that little man.
Florida has 28 congressional seats and 20 of them are going red. That's pretty bad. That's 2/3. Actually, that's more. That's 70%.
And what's amazing is that I feel like no matter how many times we keep pointing out as to the reason for how bad the Florida Democratic Party is, people are just not wanting to get it. And it's really not that difficult to understand. You don't have a real party here. And I'll tell you when I knew it was really going to be bad this time. First of all, Broward is supposedly the bluest county in the state of Florida. The bluest county is where we live. I have not seen a single Charlie
They live in
Crist
Miami?
lawn sign on a house.
I'm not sure.
I haven't. I've only seen them in like public places where like the team puts them, whereas I've seen tons of DeSantis lawn signs. And again, we're in the most Democratic state or Democratic county in the state. So if you don't have Democrats here fired up and wanting to gung-ho support you, you're not winning. It's just not going to happen. And the best I got when I've asked people about like this race and what their thoughts are were people saying, well, I voted for Charlie.
That's not good.
That's not good. So again, maybe this Democratic Party, one, shouldn't be run by a Republican, just a thought, and owned by Michael Bloomberg, and all of these things. And maybe
We agree with the Bloomberg stuff.
they should
Absolutely.
consider some form of
I can't stand
strategy,
Bloomberg.
because there's no
Can you
shortage
pause it?
of winnable
Yeah.
seats in Florida that they didn't even put a
Yeah.
See, there's connection that we can make here. Even though we like DeSantis, the connection that we can make here is that they have no chance because of the money. You just said DeSantis raised $200 million. That's a wrap, yo. It's over. I don't care what else. I don't care who you're running. And then when it trickles down to the whole state, Dems aren't putting money in Florida like that. That's a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I think it's really more about the money in politics is the story.
This is something
She
I'm,
did say
I'm
Broward. Yeah, she said Broward County. Who is that? Is that Debbie Wasserman Schultz? What's up, Katie Maria?
Yeah. So here's something I'm curious about. Why is Michael Bloomberg funding like these corporatists over here on this side, but in over like Texas, he's like funding people who are like what I should call anti-gunners in like Texas. Like he's spending like millions of dollars in Texas to try to flip Texas blue, but he failed horribly. But in like Florida, he's funding more people that are more right leaning on that issue. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I have to track that. I'm not knowledgeable on what he's doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's just anti-populist. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. You know what I mean? That's what it is. He's just anti-populist.
Casual Goats, you're in the chat, man.
Casual Goats is in the building. He said, oh no, these are weirdos. Come on. The Fred's the show. And that's why I think we have so much, we got more that we can build together on than disagree. I know it's tough because we like DeSantis pretty much on this channel, but there's a lot we can still agree with them on here.
Yeah, there's some stuff I can agree with them on. Yeah.
We're not pro Bloomberg.
I mostly disagree with what I disagree with them on is like the way they're coming from it at. That's what I disagree on.
Yeah, and they're doing specifically Florida. I really want to look at because Florida is unique, man. We can't extrapolate what's happening in Florida to the rest of the country. I think that's one thing we can learn.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we can't put that into Texas. It doesn't go to Arizona. It's different.
Yeah.
candidate in those elections. They didn't even put him in. So they sit there and throw all their money behind Charlie Crist and Val Demings. They throw all their money behind that, and they completely ignore winnable state seats completely. And
because they were so desperate. That's why.
They're just honestly, I got to tell you, and if you're a member of the Florida Democratic Party, I mean, technically I am because I'm registered as one. So if you are as well, please know there's nothing democratic about them. From the head of the party being a Republican, all the way to how they do not have Democratic primaries.
Can you pause that again?
Yeah. I think
so.
I got
you know where I'm. Here's my thing. Then we need to work together. One of the things I'm disappointed in is I want the Democrat Party to end. I want it to end as an organization. I want the existence of this evil, racist, hateful, destructive, authoritarian party. I want it to end. And what is Jen talking about there? She wants the same thing. We need to work we agree on that. Forget about what they think about DeSantis. We agree that the Democrat Party should be abolished as an organization. So let's work. Why are we not working together?
Well, I actually take it a step further than her. I think all political parties need to be abolished.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on it.
Well, I agree with you, but I think because it's not like I support the Republicans, but you've got to do, like, if we can't end the Democrat Party, then how are we going to really end the Republican? You start with the Democrat Party, end it, and then
Yeah.
maybe something like a Jen Perlman populist left, the People's Party with Jimmy Dore, they rise up, or whatever the case is, then you clean out the Republicans. But the Democrat Party's got to end. We can't let this organization continue. It's the organization of the Triple K. It's the organization of slavery. It's the organization of Jim Crow. It's the organization of lockdowns. I mean, this is not something to celebrate. But we agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious more about what she's saying. I'm curious.
And I keep saying it. You cannot beat the right from the center. That's not a thing that's going to happen. The only way to beat the right is from the left. To me, it's so common sense.
And you can't beat the left from the
Democrat
center
that tries
either.
To sell you that you need to be in the center, they're lying to you. They're lying to you, or they're just so stupid. That is possible.
Well, it's very possible. We definitely saw that this was not going to end well for many reasons. I would definitely say that just being out at the polls today, it was a pretty good response. I mean,
it was a good steady stream.
Yeah, the local nonpartisan races that we were helping with, that's where people are much less inclined to just say, well, are you red or you're blue? In fact,
every once in a while you get that.
Yeah,
it's
no, I got that one
weird.
guy that was like, is he a Democrat? Oh, forget that.
Right. It's like it's a nonpartisan race. His personal registration shouldn't matter to you.
No,
but
it definitely didn't. And yes, Matt Gaetz won, Michelle, and he won by a lot. So that's all you need to know.
And any Democrat that sent any amount of money to what's his face against Marjorie Taylor Greene, we're going to get into this because the allocation of their resources is very telling as to what they're really about. How much money did they put behind some guy who has no chance to win in like a plus 27 red district? And then they sent Katie Porter $300,000 to compete against an $8 million GOP infiltration into her race.
Was she up?
Yeah, which
Keep real quick.
Absurd,
I'm not aware. I didn't pay attention to that actually.
Katie Porter. Maybe they're talking about the past. I like Katie Porter, so I just want to check out and see what she. Well, of course she's up. She's in the House.
Yeah. So yeah,
she won. I think. Well, no, 47%. I don't know if that's called.
Yeah.
Wow, in California.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk is live. Oh, what's he talking about now?
Well, he's probably talking about Kerry Lake. You can bring it over there if you want.
Yeah,
I actually like Katie Porter, so I'm a little worried about that one, but.
Yeah, I'll go talk. I want to see what Charlie's talking about now.
Yep.
This is actually pretty interesting, but I just disagree with how they're coming at it from. I don't necessarily disagree with like they're talking about the Democratic Party, how it's become a joke in Florida now. I just disagree with the way they're coming at it from.
I agree. Matt Gaetz is not your enemy. Jen, Matt Gaetz is not your enemy. We both want to take down the cabal. Matt Gaetz is not your enemy. Focus on that. I mean,
yeah, right here.
Schumer,
hold on.
Can someone call Chuck Schumer's office? 400,000 drops.
I'm waiting for the verification.
Wait, Tyler,
on
that lines up with my anecdotal that I was saying yesterday.
That's really high. It seems really high. I don't want to get too excited here.
That's almost like how it
I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too excited here. But
Democrats started. By the way, so one of our listeners said, "How can you know how many ballots there are, but not just count them?"
So what this might be, and Charlie, and this is what I think. There was a number of there. I think there was. I remember I told you guys last night on the stream. I think there was about 100 to 150,000 ballots that were dropped off like the day before. So we're talking Monday drops that weren't counted yet.
Yeah.
So those ballots I think are included as part of that 400K that have yet to be.
So if that's the case, by the way,
so it was close to 250,000, which is what we needed minimally, I think, to be successful on day of. That makes perfect sense, and that's part of the reason why we had that 400K.
That would be late early, but that's not statewide, right? That's not statewide. That's just Maricopa.
So it sounds like they had 200. Okay, so I'm just confirming here, so we don't want to get misinformation out there. So Maricopa County is saying 200,000 drop-offs yesterday, plus more from Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. So all right. Just so we're clear, the 20,000 box 3, if that breaks 70-30, that gives Kerry another 8,000 votes.
Kerry's governor. That's over.
That gives her another 8, so she's still technically. I mean, it doesn't give her 8. It actually advances her, gets her closer by 8.
How many on Monday, Tyler? Do we think?
I'm just trying to get straight answers. I'm going to the top. I'm going to the top here, and we're going to get the straight answer here.
So
So, anyways, box 3 will get Carrie within about 4,000 votes.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not going to be ahead from box 3. I just did the math, but she'll be within 4,000.
Yeah, but that doesn't count Mojave and
Hey.
Yavapai. And by the way, let's give you another piece of data here.
Kerry Lake is going
Tyler,
to win.
Do you know that right now, currently, they say Blake Masters is down 28 points in Pima? Yeah, not going to happen. Pima hasn't counted their election day votes yet.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Total Maricopa County right now.
Why haven't they counted them then? That doesn't make any sense.
Ray, we talked about this last night. I don't know. But it doesn't, I'm not saying that anything wrong is happening, but what I'm saying is they know that these aren't favorable potentially for certain people, and they're slow walking it.
Well, so they know, like they're not doing anything shady. They just want to prolong it.
I don't know. I don't know if they're doing shady or not. But wouldn't you, if you know? So here, Ray, what we talked about yesterday is the more information they give, then that will give people, the prognosticators, they will be able to call the race. They'll be able to say, look, it's done. That's what Charlie's even trying to do right now. He's like, Kerry's going to win based on what we're projecting. So if you hold those ballots, then it takes longer for that to happen. And I don't know. You would just want to prolong it, right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you know you're going to lose, just draw it. You know what, Ray? I used to play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And I used to be pretty good at NBA 2K. And one of the big problems with NBA 2K would be I'd be playing a dude. I'd be hitting my threes, dunking them. I used to use Michael Redd, was one of my favorite players. And I'd be blowing somebody out by 20 points. And you know what they would do? They would use all their timeouts and when you took a timeout, you had to wait. You couldn't play. And I had to wait for them. So they would take timeouts. It would take forever. A game that usually would take about 40 minutes to play, they would use all their timeouts. They would pause the game. They would make a 40-minute game take 2 hours. So you know what I would do? I would quit. I'm like, I could play another game. So I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but I'm just saying if you're going to lose, you prolong it. Maybe your internet goes out, and who knows what happens. That's what I think is happening here.
Yeah, so they just want to draw out our emotions is what you think is possible right there.
Absolutely. You draw it out. You don't know what could happen. I don't want to speculate on some of the very bad things that could happen, but you draw it out. You don't know what could happen. It's better. You're not going to rush to a Kerry Lake projected victory.
Yeah.
If these ballots were good for Hobbs, I think they would have. They probably would have spilled out, and they would say projected Hobbs winner.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hang on here.
Just do the numbers.
New tabulation for the day. We estimate more than 400. Okay, Maricopa County just put this out. This was
right, tell us,
half hour ago.
We're up against a break.
We estimate more than 400K ballots left to count in Maricopa County. 275,000 early ballots on election day. That number was 170 in 2020. So they took forever to count that in 2020. So expect to buckle up. This is why they're saying Thanksgiving now, is because they took so freaking long last
Okay,
night.
but
what?
Tyler, you got to make sense of this. We have 30 seconds.
We'll come back. We'll come back. This is too much to go.
We'll figure it out in the break.
Okay, all right. Email us freedom@charliekirk.com.
The bottom line is there's so many votes
Those are big
outstanding.
numbers,
Carrie's in. There's no way Kerry.
Blake has a path with those numbers. He has a path. Blake has a path for sure. Subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast, please, by taking out your podcast app and typing in Charlie.
He might have a path, but I don't think he's going to get on it. I don't think
it's
so.
It's going to be tough for Blake because he's behind Kerry. He's not with Kerry on this. But this is the best coverage here for Arizona. If you want to know what's going on, Charlie Kirk, by far the best Arizona coverage.
Yeah.
Kirk Show. I want to tell you guys about ReliefFactor.com.
Oh, you can skip
100%
it. I like when it's
drug-free
buffered. You can skip through that.
Sometimes you need some Relief Factor. Liked by, and Relief Factor could help you out. Rises here in Arizona. The red wave. I think it might have happened here in the desert. We'll see. We'll be right back. 0-2.
How's Fincham doing?
And I just came from Nevada, by the way, Adam.
Okay. Yeah. They're on like one of those break things though. So yeah. So I don't know how there's going to be a red wave in Nevada, and in Arizona or Nevada. I don't know how that's going to happen, but maybe Charlie.
Let's go to Nevada real quick. I thought Nevada was good, right? What do you think?
No, like a red wave. Well, I'm not saying I think Nevada's going to flip red, but I'm not saying I just don't think it's going to be like a humongous flip. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yep. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now it's at 80% in with Lexalt. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. Lexalt.
Lexalt. Yeah. At 50% with Cortez Mastro at 47%. Yeah. So. So it's dead close. Well, it's close. I mean, I think Laxett can pull it out, but it's gonna get closer.
Oh, you think it's going to get closer there? So we don't know about Nevada yet.
Yeah. Yes, with only 80% counted. So.
Yep. So we still don't. There's a lot we still don't know. This reminds me exactly of the primaries with Kerry Lake. It's exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see if Tim has posted anything recently. I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Michael Knowles is live. I'm curious what he's saying now. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah, let's bring him up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Right here. Right down here. I brought it up. It's down there.
Okay. Let me bring it up.
This is
Michael Knowles.
Early voting, one, is more open to fraud than same-day voting, than proper register, get the count by the end of the night voting. And because mail-in voting and early voting both favor Democrats. So I have no doubt that that's how the redundancy would function, but that's a big problem. Kerry Lake, who was looking great, the Republican candidate for governor of Arizona, she was looking great early yesterday, and now it's very unclear if she will win. Kerry Lake decided to go vote in a liberal precinct. She said no problems there.
We switched from a Republican area to vote. We came right down into the heart of liberal Phoenix to vote because we wanted to make sure that we had good machines. And guess what? They've had zero problems with their machines today. Not one machine spit out a ballot here today. Not one, in a very liberal area. So we were right to come and vote in a liberal area. They got to fix this problem. This is incompetency. I hope it's not malice, but we're gonna win. And when we win, there's going to be come to Jesus for elections in Arizona. There's going to be a come to Jesus.
So I hope Kerry Lake wins, but the point she's raising here is, yeah, it's 1 in 5 poll centers, poll machines in Maricopa County, but it's not evenly distributed. Her claim, at least, again, we don't know. We're kind of in the fog of war on this election night, but her claim is that the liberal precincts did not have the problems. It was the conservative precincts that did, which would explain how Maricopa County, which is pretty liberal, would be the epicenter of some of these problems. Well, if it's only affecting the conservative precincts, not the liberal ones, again, that's an if based on what Kerry Lake is saying, then that seems a little strange. One place where there was no ambiguity, this was the bright spot of the night, Ron DeSantis absolutely destroyed in Florida. He destroyed his opponent, Charlie Crist. Ron DeSantis won re-election 59.4% to 39.9%. Ron DeSantis barely won his first election as governor of Florida.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushed it in his re-election.
So you can pause it real quick. Just real quick. I appreciate these guys are pro DeSantis. They've always been they've never been full Trump guys. So you know where he's going, Ray. He's going to go with get out the way. I want to fight. They're not populist. I like Michael Knowles. Don't get me wrong. He's not a populist though. Matt Walsh. He's not a populist.
I kind of would disagree with you on at least Matt Walsh. No, I can see how more you're coming at it from Michael Knowles. I'll disagree with you on that, but I think I don't see how much with Matt Walsh, in my opinion.
I think they're corporate guys. I like them. Don't get me wrong, but they like the establishment. They don't like. I don't know what their take is on Kerry Lake. Have you heard Michael Knowles talk about Kerry Lake? Because he just played that there.
He's a huge him, Shapiro. Walsh and like even Crowder, they love Kerry Lake.
Yeah. So maybe I'm Crowder. Off. Maybe I'm off, and it's more that they're just anti-Trump.
They're not like they're other than maybe Knowles. Like none
Knowles
of
doesn't
them
like Trump. None of them like Trump.
Knowles doesn't have too much of a problem with Trump. He doesn't. He's not the biggest Trump fan, certainly, but
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
don't-
have too much of a problem with him.
I think Candace Owens is the only one over there that's really rolls with Trump like that, right?
Yeah, Ben
But-
and like
no, they don't like Trump. Nah.
Ben and Jordan, like you
No.
can make an argument. I can see how that happens. Yeah,
Mhm.
Not forget, he did tighten up election laws. I don't think that's the chief reason. That's part of it. Why did he? Because he's been a great governor of Florida, and everybody loves the guy down there. And he just led the way in the nation, especially among the governors, on COVID and on education and on dealing with woke corporations. And he's just been a fabulous, fabulous governor. And so as a result of this last night, Ron DeSantis has a very credible case to run against Donald Trump
Here we
for
go.
president. Going into last night, a lot of people would not have said that. They would have said Donald
Here we
Trump is so
go.
far up in the polls, it's 70% plus.
That's not the story.
DeSantis is somewhere around 10%. It's just, if Trump decides he's running, he clears the field.
Wait,
no
this is
one
gonna get
can
ugly,
credibly
man.
run against him.
Yeah.
After last night, especially where a lot of Trump-endorsed candidates did not do very well, for whatever reason, and Ron DeSantis not only destroyed in his reelection campaign, but really brought Florida very firmly into the Republican camp. Ron DeSantis now could very credibly come out, even if Donald Trump announces that he's running for president next week. And it's, I think, unclear that he will do that. He had implied that he would do that, but after last night, after the Republicans did not do nearly as well as we thought we would, it's unclear if he will do that. But even if he does, Ron DeSantis, I think, could announce a run against him. And he could have a very serious campaign. And if Ron DeSantis,
and you see this, like if DeSantis decides to challenge Trump, this will be like the biggest gift that Democrats could have hoped for, because
Yeah,
it would turn us all against each other, all of us.
I mean, you guys, when I say it's going to be a political civil war, man, you can't overstate it. It's going to be the ugliest. It would be the ugliest political civil war we've ever seen in my lifetime. This is a whole different level of. We've never had a populist movement like this, and then you've got it divided with what happened last time compared to how good DeSantis. I mean, and Trump. Trump goes scorched earth. Like, did you see the truth that Trump sent out?
Yeah.
The one where he basically said to, I'm going to paraphrase, he basically said about DeSantis, I know where the bodies figuratively are buried. If you run against me, then I'm talking. God, we don't even know how ugly this is going to be. We cannot advocate for that. If DeSantis goes for that, I'm out on him. It's not about you. You're young enough. You got 4 years. Do well for Florida. After 4 years, Trump is out of there. Now it would be probably DeSantis versus Tucker. I can do that. I can do Tucker versus DeSantis, two populists. Tucker versus Candace Owens versus DeSantis. And DeSantis would win that. You know what I mean? We can do that. We can't do Trump versus DeSantis.
Well, GB, the thing with Clinton and Obama was like we could Republicans could have taken an advantage over that, but they didn't. That allowed Obama to like win in 08.
Yeah, Clinton versus Obama was establishment versus establishment. There wasn't like a populist versus populist. Like, Ray, you consider Ron DeSantis a populist, right?
Yes.
And you consider Trump a populist.
Yes.
When have we ever seen populist versus populist like this in a primary?
Not any time I'm aware of.
And definitely not with these. These are heavyweights, yo. This is like what were some big heavy? What you watch UFC, right?
Yes.
Right? What are the biggest fights right now you could do? Biggest name fights right now?
Maybe not heavyweight, but like featherweight. I could see like Colby Covington versus Dustin Poirier.
Okay, and that would be like a big brawl, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing here. Obama versus Clinton was like, it was a cabal issue. It wasn't like a down to earth populist issue. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different. It's going to be a whole different level of intensity and authentic kind of fervor against people, against each other. The populist right going at each other. We never seen that. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
DeSantis runs on his record, runs on the election wins in Florida, runs on the underperformance of the Republicans nationally, particularly some of the Trump-endorsed candidates, that's a good case. Now, there's one candidate in Florida who is a Senate candidate there, Republican, who Trump did not endorse, who Ron DeSantis did endorse, and that candidate lost. So some people are going to say, well, look, it's not just that Trump's endorsements weren't that great, but DeSantis's endorsements nationwide, that one guy didn't do that well. And on the rest, DeSantis and Trump were basically agreed. Okay, yeah, I just think that gets wiped away when you look at the massive shift of voters to the Republican Party in Florida. Now, again, is that all thanks to DeSantis? Is part of that thanks to the coronavirus? Is part of that thanks to the lockdowns and people voting with their feet? So you just see an influx of Republicans
what about Trump?
into Florida. Now,
what about thanks to Trump? Trump started the whole momentum to let DeSantis. DeSantis was a nobody. He was going to lose to Gillum.
Yeah.
And knows all that. See, that's why I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't fully trust these corporate people, man. Like, no, I like them a lot. Don't get me wrong. They're great philosophy. You know, they're great philosophically. Like when Knowles was on with Timcast, man, that was just, and that was amazing stuff. But I don't trust these guys, man.
Yeah, they actually
really
did.
don't.
Crowder came on the Daily Wire backstage talk last night. Like
Crowder
they were actually,
did?
Yep,
Oh,
they were doing a crossboard. So
wow, that was to have those guys in one room, man. That's special stuff.
Well, Crowder wasn't in the room; he was doing his show live.
Okay.
Remember, Daily Wire's in Tennessee and Crowder's in Texas, so they were just doing it on video. So
yeah.
Thanks to Ron DeSantis, because Ron DeSantis was covering in a good way. There's a little bit of a chicken and an egg here, but the upshot of all of it is we now that the 2022 midterms are over, we now have a much, much more competitive 2024 Republican presidential primary than we did 2 days ago. How is Donald Trump reacting to the much more competitive Republican presidential primary because Ron DeSantis did so well in Florida?
They don't rock with Trump. They're trying to make him look like a buffoon, just like the corporate media does. That's what he's about to do, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm curious what he's saying right here.
He's going to make Trump look like a buffoon.
He is threatening him.
Yep.
So Trump comes out.
He's anti-Trump.
Says in an interview.
Well, first of all, if Trump's threatening him, that's the most stupid thing he could do. But
we're past the midterm now.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't if DeSantis is really going to come up and attack Trump, then of course Trump should threaten him. Like why? I mean, politically.
Well, I haven't seen DeSantis attack Trump at all.
I know.
I haven't.
But let's not do this though. We know. I haven't seen DeSantis. We've heard DeSantis, like people in his team say, hey, we're not doing this or that. Come on, Ray. He got 200 million. He raised 200 million.
Yeah.
When's the last time you even seen him in the same area with Trump? We know what's up, man. Let's not do that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Not you. I'm just saying, like, knows. We know what's up. So you see what I'm saying? We know what's up. DeSantis is moving on Trump. We know that, man. It's allegedly, but we know that. And Knowles is acting like Trump is an idiot for attacking him.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So, but like I said, it'd be wise for DeSantis not to even engage with Trump. That it would be the best thing he can do, especially because of how young he is. He should wait, probably.
I agree.
But he's not going to.
In fact, he should be the VP.
Yeah.
Why
that's
wouldn't
what I
he
said.
be the VP?
Yeah, I keep saying that. If the two of them came together, there's no way they could be defeated. There's no way, even with what happened last night.
I agree. And then you've got the 4 years as VP. Then you can kind of see how DC works now. Then you can run for the 8 after that. I mean, the only problem is your ego. Like, I just can't see DeSantis. Here's the thing. For DeSantis to be Trump's VP, no joking. Trump might ask him to get down on his knee. Like, I'm not joking, right? He might say, I'll do it if DeSantis comes to me, gets down on his knee, like Game of Thrones, bends the knee, and then kisses my ring. Not even exaggerating. He might literally say, I need that from you. And he might want to get it on video, too. That's how crazy Trump is.
For how wild Trump is, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So, yeah.
Seriously.
You with Fox News Digital quote. DeSantis shouldn't run. I don't think he should run. It would not go very well for him. And then he says, this is a direct quote, I would tell you things about him that won't be very flattering. I know more about him than anybody other than perhaps his wife.
Whoa.
So there's a threat.
Bruh.
God.
We don't want this.
Okay. When you bring someone's wife into the situation, oh my
Bro.
God, you're literally asking for it now. Then he's literally asking for it now.
Bro, that's a threat, man. That's,
Oh, yeah,
that's just a threat. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Like that's the last thing you want to do. Never bring someone's wife into it.
That's a whole nother level of stuff. And so hey, let me address this comment though. I'm not saying Trump is infallible. Let me just be clear on that. What I'm saying is he has the energy of the people. If he didn't have the energy of the people, then he would have no power at all. The energy of the people is with Trump. DeSantis doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't have that energy. I like him, don't get me wrong, but the energy of the people is what gives Trump power. I've knocked Trump on the pandemic and all the other stuff too. The spending, a lot of Trump's spending was terrible. But you can't fight. How do you split the people from Donald Trump? You can't do that.
Yeah. I'm still not sold that Trump is a lost cause yet. I'm not yet. It'll take something big for me to like say yes, he's a lost cause.
Wait, what do you mean a lost cause?
Like saying he's not even worth just trying to get behind anymore. That it's going to take something really big.
Yeah, I'm still worth getting. See, that's why Anomaly blocked me. I could talk about a lot, but that's why Anomaly blocked me on Twitter because I was like, yeah, Trump struggled during the pandemic, but I can still get behind him. I'm not. I hear where you're coming from, but
yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Trump is, and I don't think it's an idle threat. I bet the Trump campaign has pretty good oppo research on DeSantis because DeSantis has been the chief threat to Trump on the right for months now, or more than months, even over a year now. And so I'm sure he's got some oppo on it. What is the threat here? The threat here seems to me, Ron DeSantis, I'm going to say that you've got woman problems. Right? I think that's why he includes that line, other than perhaps your wife.
Let's pause it real quick.
And that's
is his wife going through chemo now, DeSantis?
Yeah, she beat breast cancer. Yeah, she beat it already.
She got over it?
Yeah, she got over it a bit ago.
Okay, so at least it's not. I was wondering, like Trump, like if she's still going through that, man, let's not.
Yeah,
but
is a civil war between them in the Republican Party inevitable now that you see?
No, it's not inevitable. I think we need to get the word out to people in DeSantis that this is about more than policy. This is unfinished. And I know it's bad because Trump brings out the Democrats too, but it is what it is. You've got to let him get his one last, straw at it again. Obviously, if he doesn't get it done, then Trump's gone.
Yeah.
So no, it's not inevitable. But Michael Knowles is trying to make it happen. Instead of the populist take, which is DeSantis, just wait.
Yeah.
Lowest hanging fruits in politics is to accuse someone of having an affair or whatever. Obviously, Trump has been accused of this many times, and it was an issue in the 2016 campaign. So I think that's what he's saying. He said, I got a lot of dirty laundry on you. Now, maybe Trump is also insinuating I've got, more political scandals, or I've got financial scandals, or I've got this, or I've got that. But I think from this threat here, Trump is clearly insinuating that he's got a sex scandal up his sleeve. Now, is Trump bluffing? Trump has bluffed many times before. But what you can see is this is starting to get nasty. Now, all the nastiness is coming from Trump. You'll notice DeSantis is not attacking Donald Trump at all, which does seem to suggest that DeSantis is feeling very confident right now. Trump is feeling less confident. The fact that Trump attacked DeSantis the other day, called him Ron DeSanctimonious.
I don't agree with that, man. I don't.
I think Trump might be thinking like because of what happened last night. He might be amping up a little more.
What's happening is, to me, it looks like DeSantis is making moves behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. He knows that's going to piss off Trump, and DeSantis is going to play it off like I'm the composed one. He's the unhinged lunatic without even having to say it. DeSantis is very smart. And because DeSantis cannot out charisma Trump. So if you want to go up against Trump, you don't go head to head with the name calling and all that.
Yeah.
Trump is hilarious. You don't do that. You make Trump look like an idiot. You use his strength against him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I agree. Trump is scared. I agree with that. But I'm just don't act like DeSantis isn't doing something to make Trump scared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's evidence, I think, of Trump feeling a little insecure here because Trump, whatever you want to say about his attacks, and they can be brutal and they've destroyed people. Trump, to my knowledge, has never started a fight. Someone always attacks him first, and it might just be a
DeSantis
mild
started it.
offense.
Yeah,
Trump
DeSantis
Trump
did
comes
start.
in and clobbers them.
Yeah.
But Trump, as a rule, does not really seem to attack first. In the case of DeSantis, he attacks first.
No, he didn't. See?
Why?
You
Because
see?
I think
He's-
he realizes he's got to
Sorry,
sideline
Michael.
Ron.
BS, man.
Because
I agree with you on this one.
BS.
Like DeSantis was I'm through the first. I'm fired the first shot, not
You
Trump.
see, you know what's happening here? It's almost like, let's pretend it's like me and you, Ray. Pretend
Yeah.
like you're Trump and I'm DeSantis. And I
Yeah.
go to somebody and I'm like, I want to make a move on you. So I don't tell you that. I don't tell anybody else. I'm telling all these people that are kind of against you, I want to make a move
Yeah.
on Trump. This dude's
Yeah.
this dude's a this, he's that, he's unhinged. And then you
Yeah.
find out about it. And then
Yeah.
now you are more of the boisterous one who will call names and stuff. Then now
Yeah.
you call names, and then now I fall back like, look at him, he's unhinged. I didn't do anything. Come
Yeah.
on, man. I'm not stupid. Come on, Michael. I'm not falling for that.
Yeah.
Ron right now has a ton of momentum. And coming out of these midterms, he's got a ton of momentum. Again, though, everybody seems to be going into camps. So I'm still a Trump guy. Well, Ron DeSantis is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Every other Republican's got to go away. And the reason we were asked last night on Backstage,
Charlie
Trump or
Kirk is back
DeSantis,
on.
Who do you pick? And everyone's going around and they say,
Yeah,
I'm,
we can go
you
over.
know,
This was great. We can go to Charlie Kirk if you want. This was great, though. Thanks.
Yeah. 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 I make sure to watch a lot of people. So yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
Okay. I want to see what Charlie's saying now.
Yeah, see if there's any breaking news. I might go off camera for a second just to charge my laptop, so I'm still here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, about 5 minutes. I'm gonna be. I have to get off because I got to get ready for work. About 5
Okay,
minutes.
We'll wrap up in 5 then. I need to do some prepared, thought out videos on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I brought it up right down there.
Okay.
It's completely insane to me. But when I look at and Charlie, to your point as well, for the people saying, "Oh, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time." I see data. I see numbers. I see analysis. I see ration. I see
We
basic
overwhelmed the
look at
system
the
yesterday.
actual
We did.
numbers. We drove people out. I mean, Charlie, you had a metaphorical whip in your hand on Tuesday, and we're just lashing, just whipping people to get out. And so this stream, okay, last night and today, nobody's up here doing doom and gloom. The eulogy music is, we can disavow
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
But
They're not.
this is data. This is number crunching. This is real life.
I got clarity.
Can you
on
go
those
back a little
emergency
bit? What were they
votes.
talking about there?
The emergency.
I don't know,
ballots will be
actually. Give me one
extended
Let me see.
there, and I understand
Come on.
it because of
Yeah,
what
you can
has
start there.
happened in some of our communities across the country.
This is ridiculous.
But let me tell you, and the system that we have here sucks.
Yeah.
But this is a war that's fought with many little battles that we
Mhm.
have to take back our elections. We have to take back each election cycle.
Yep.
And we have to proceed. And this means having great secretaries of state. This means having
Yep.
great elections departments at your county level. This is the reason why I'm telling you, and I'm on this war path. The future of the country is at stake with counties the size of Maricopa County, the size of Clark County, the sizes of King County, the sizes of Los Angeles and San Diego and San Bernardino. We are losing our country in the West, and by extension, the rest of the country, because we've allowed massive unconstitutional growth of gigantic counties.
Yep.
And this is not Jeffersonian by model. Jeffersonian looks a lot more like it looks back east.
Look at some of those Midwestern counties out there.
They're
where
tiny.
It's like 8,000 person to a couple.
Yep.
Iowa's like that. Nebraska's like
Georgia's
that.
like
Georgia's like that. Yeah. It's completely insane to me. But when I look at and Charlie, to your point as well, for the people saying, "Oh, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time." I see data. I see numbers. I see analysis. I see ration. I see
We
basic
overwhelmed the
look at
system
the
yesterday.
actual
We did.
numbers. We drove people out. I mean, Charlie, you had a metaphorical whip in your hand on Tuesday, and we're just lashing, just whipping people to get out. And so this stream, okay, last
You
night
can go
and
live.
today,
Can you go live? real
nobody's
quick
up
then?
here
We saw
doing
how
doom
it
and
built
gloom.
up.
The
Great
eulogy music
discussion.
is
Yeah. Here,
See
here.
if they have
Close.
news.
No, it's
No.
so look, there's
Okay.
a lot here. Okay, let's go to some other races because we are a national program while we guys tabulate more in Arizona. Nevada, Andrew, what happened in Nevada last night?
Nevada was so exciting right at the end there. What we saw really, we were getting reports that Washoe County, so Washoe County is going to be Reno, right down the hill from Tahoe, from the northern part of Tahoe, get down into Reno. Big population center. It's the largest population center in northern Nevada. We've got 64% of votes that have been counted.
Yeah.
What we heard was
All right.
that
I think I got
Washoe
to
went
go
out to
now.
an
I got
early
to
lead
go
for the
get ready
Dems,
for work
and
now.
then was
Okay.
breaking.
Yep. Let's get it
like
in. Thanks, Ray.
70, 30,
Appreciate you,
75, 40.
everybody. You could pause it. Yeah, I'm gonna do some prepared videos. So thanks everybody for hanging out. At the end of the day, this is not I'm not looking at this as a negative.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Who knows? I'm still trying to pull things together. I don't know what to officially say on it.
We're still in the aftermath. All right. Thanks everybody.
Yeah. Thanks.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.